It's a new century.
He was like between 12 and 15 the last time I saw him.
He was down there somewhere at the time.
He was?
Yeah, he was only like a kid the last time I saw him. I don't even think he was a full-grown teenager yet.
He's 25, man.
That'd be about right. Sarah's age.
Yeah.
Stop with the cigarette smoke.
You'll live.
You're killing me. And I can't wait for them to pass that law. No, last
It's
year.
a smoke-free town now.
Yeah, they're working on it.
They got it now.
Well, they're working on it all over the state. Meridian's trying to go that way too.
I wish I could have got it when I was working.
There's
Man, the boy weighed about 400 pounds, worked beside of me, and he'd have one in the ashtray, one in this hand, and one in the other hand. I got me some, well, it wasn't arsenic, but I got me some water to put in one of the spray bottle. Every time he got close to me, why'd you spray it on me? I said, arsenic. Arsenic? I said, hell yeah, you killing me. I'm going to try my best to kill you.
John, is this something cool?
No.
What are you been such a wuss for? What did I
Oh,
ever
that's
do?
neat. Son, you can find such a way to do that.
When I
He's
played in
gonna grow up to
January,
be a
when y'all went,
wonderful waiter.
things
He
dad,
finds the darn
fella taught me how to do that.
things to stuff with.
I'm just proud he got. Come on, foot.
I hear you.
I laugh. You remember when old big guy, that boy's name was up there, David?
Oh, yeah.
We had that window tore out back there and had that room built and we had to walk through
that's
the window.
Tubby.
He got one foot over and he couldn't get the other one over.
Tub.
He said, oh, come on, foot. And I like it. I like it. That's like I tell you what, you went up that paper with me some. You know what up from Saturday evening.
She's fattening up for winter like a squirrel.
That was aggravating this thing, and I'd always try to figure out something to tell people. I hired a nigger to clean up. He come in that Saturday evening, and that phone was ringing all the time. Got down there 25, 30 times. I said, answer that phone, Billy. He said, hello. He said, I don't know nothing about that. Said, I just a cleanup man around here. Say, yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And it took him about 10 minutes to get off the phone with him because he said they was cussing him so bad. that nigger tickled me. He laid that phone down it wrong again. I said, get it again, Benny. He picked it up and said, hello. They started on him. He said, I told you everything I know when I said hello. I said, boy, I've been here 25, 30 years. That little nigger come in here in just a few minutes. He knows what to tell him. Yeah.
That's funny.
That tickled the heck out of me. He said, hello. I told you everything I know when I said hello.
Man.
He's one, I don't know where you knew about this, but he's one that, he was spooky. He's up there a lot at night, you know, everybody leaves, leave him the front lights upstairs and come back on. You cut them off in about 3 minutes, they come back on. He come up there one day and I was sitting there working. He said, Mr. Jimmy, he said, hey, strange thing goes on in this building. I said, what's going on, Jimmy? He said, well, last night, I'd cut that lights off in front office. I got downstairs and I just put the key in the front door. And them lights come back on. I said, I come back up there and didn't see nobody. He said, I cut them lights off. He said, I got outside and the door locked. And he said, them lights come back on. He said, I come back in here. And he said, that light switch was down. It's still down. That down. Said, I know, made sure. Said, I come back in here. He said, I had to turn it up to cut it off that time. said, next time I cut it off, he said, I'll stand over here in front of A&P. When it come back on, he said, I'm not coming back.
Boo.
I told him, I said, yeah, I said, well, Benny, don't get scared if that guy with a white coat on, you know, round in there some night, because I said, we tell everybody don't have no long sleeve shirts or nothing on around that press, because it'll catch you up. He wore that white coat. He had to be a big shot, and he wore that white coat. He got caught up in that press and carried him through that press.
Ooh.
He said, really? I said, yeah. Just so happened Mr. West, I done forgot I told that nigga that. Mr. West, it started raining. It was raining, and it was raining one day, and he had a white hat and a white raincoat on. He got up to the door there. He didn't want to go back to his car to get the key. He banging on the door to let that nigga get him in. He told me, he said, what's wrong with that fella? He said he swept all around. He said, I wonder banging on that window, tell him let me in. He said he just looked and get him
Oh, that's funny.
He come in, Mr. West was asking me about it. I told him, I said, he's spooky, Mr. West. He said he must be. He said he wouldn't even reckon he'd look at me, but he didn't act like he really seen me. Benny come in, he said, Mr. Jimmy, he said, that man showed up. He said, I didn't let him in.
That's funny.
Hell.
Oh, man.
Tell you some funny things, when I was working in bigger inmates.
Yeah, that's gotta be some good ones.
I had one that was a good worker, but he was sort of spooky too.
Aren't they all?
And they some of them suckers solid. Can't fool them. That old Willie Sidney. I went in there one morning, they wouldn't let him out. They had him locked down. That whole week, I said, I miss old Willie. I went in there one morning, I told him, I said, I want to get Willie out of here to work. No, that's some bitch locked down. He's been locked down, he ain't going nowhere. I said, well, what's he done? He said, it's just the way he's acting in that jail, and the way he's in there. I said, well, I want him to work. He said, he ain't going nowhere. Captain Nelson walked up about that time. He said, what's going on, Jimmy? I said, I want Willie Sidney out at work. I said, man, don't give me no trouble. No, them two captains, not captains, them two officers. No, he ain't going nowhere. Captain Nelson, Jimmy, I want to override him. He said, you problem up to let him go. Said, I ain't got no problem with it. You ain't having no problem with it. I said, well, he works for me. I said, I don't have no trouble with it at all. I said, yes, sir, no, sir. They said, we're going to let him go, but when he comes in here, he can go into that rock there and right back to it. I said, I don't care where y'all put him. I got him out there, and I said, Willie, I said, what's going on? He said, Mr. Jimmy, he said, you know, they 18 more damn niggers in that cell. He said, I'm scared to death. He said, I'm ready saying when they put me in that place by myself. He said, you go to sleep in there and you won't wake up alive. I come out of there one morning, he had a little Testament in his hand and reading it, all walking over the truck. I said, Willie, you getting pretty, you reading that Bible a good bit nice. He said, yes, sir, Mr. Jim, those devils in that jail. I said, yeah, he's everywhere. Went on, he read that Bible off and on all day. Next morning we come out and this nigger standing there, big old nigger, had gold around his teeth and all.
Real.
He said, hey, Mr. Jimmy, how you doing? I said, I'm doing fine. How you doing? He said, doing all right? He said, that fella working good for you? I said, yeah, he's good working. I said, went on the truck. I said, Willie, who is that? He said, that's old Jimmy. I said, next morning I come out, old Junior spoke to me. I said, Willie, who is that? He said, that's old Junior. I said, But who is it? He said, Mr. Jimmy, that's the devil. that's one of your friends. Keep off of it. He told me, Junior told me, he said, Mr. Jimmy, them niggas give you any trouble, you tell me. He said, I'll whip them till they turn white.
Oh man.
The only way I can figure out that nigger knows me. Me and Butch one time was down in them quarters. His daddy had a store right there where you get off the interstate now on 15. Me and Butch was riding our bicycle. Some little nigger boys out there, and we was showing them up the way we was riding. They was riding. They'd one come out there, and boy, he showed us how to ride a bicycle on the back wheel and the front wheel. He said his name was Junior. Then Butch was riding off. I told him, I said, we can't compete with Junior, Butch. I think that must have been who he was. He remembered me. I tell you now, I had some fun with folks out at jail. I had a big old black dude. He'd ride the right back side of the truck all the time, that crew cab. Big old white boy out there. Then one got into it in the shop room. They was about my size. He took off out there and got his brother and this old big dude, and they come in there, bigger than dragging his feet. He's bigger than you are. He's fight. I didn't say nothing to him. That nigga got out of
Be eating good tonight.
He told him, he said, Mr. Jimmy's the only one out in worth a damn. He said, the first one swings at him, he said, I got a Joe Louis for it. You ever seen that dude, how fast he left there? I got along with some of them.
Boy, turkey's hitting me.
Never fails.
Sun on my back, too.
Had one Nathan named Gerald Bell, or Gerald something. He had two names. He got in jail with two names all the time. He stayed in jail.
What did for one? He was waiting for the other?
Yeah, it was Gerald Bell and Gerald. Never what his other name was. He played football with South Jones. That nigger talked all the time. He worked good, but he always very much so. We got down to the fairground, the city bunch was over there, and they had a little nigger, wasn't bigger than nothing, and they called him Laughing Man. He laughed all the time. They had him up on all them roofs and all cleaning out, fertilizing and all out from under there. He was just laughing, having a good time. Old Gerald was over in the middle part. He said, but these damn law niggas pick up the sidewalk when I come to law. He said, us Ellisville niggas wouldn't be black niggas that get law. Old Laughing Man quit laughing. he wasn't big as nothing inside old Big Gerald. He tried to jerk that wire off that thing. He'd have to go all the way around it. If he'd had a door there, I don't know what he'd have done to that thing. Old Donald Dale Holyfield sent us down there to a driveway, a private driveway, and went across it with a sewage line. We went on there, and KC Duckford, nigger then, he tall, skinny, strong, strong. We got on it working, and his dude got on there with a camera taking our picture. I said, KC, they taking your picture down there. Mr. Jim, what are they taking my picture for? I said, we on private property, we ain't supposed to be in. I said, clown for him a little bit. OC had stand with that old rake, you know. Had them old rubber boots on. He'd turn a somersault, hit right back the same. He just grinned at him. Well, he left. Went and got a movie camera, and he come back. Oh, KC really put on a show for him. I carried him back to the jail, and I went back to the barn on Donald Dale, and I walked the back door. Where you been, Jimmy? I said, where are you sitting? Where have you been? I said, where are you sitting? Where was that? I said, I told you where you sitting. him on that telephone. I was fixing to tell him where I was at. He said, "You go down to that driveway I told you to fix." I said, "That's right." He told that feller, he said, "I tell you what," he said, "if you like them pictures, you watch them." He said, "You don't," he said, "you put them somewhere else." Yeah, he told her, old Donaldale said, he told him, said, "That nigger's a clown," said, "he cutting Somersets and everything else." Said, "You want to see the pictures?" He said, "No, I don't want to see them." That was a supervisor. He the one they were trying to get in trouble about that. I tell you now, I've seen stuff in the last 12 years. I thought I'd seen everything at the leader call. Man, well,
You led a sheltered life.
I got out there and got to working them inmates. I seen some stuff. I had one. I told that one of them, I said, "I don't care if y'all run." They told me we're gonna put a badge and a gun on you. No, you can't put no gun on me. There ain't no way. I tell them when they get in the truck with me, I said, "I don't give a damn what y'all do. Y'all can stay, y'all can work, or y'all can go. It don't matter to me." But I said, "If you hit me, whenever you ever hit me, I'll kill you. If I'm able. If I ever get over it, I'll kill you." Had two to run. Had a nigger to run one day. I just picked up the radio and I said, "We got one on the fly." Old Donaldale Hotel supervisor there. So where is he at? And I told him. He said, "You just stay in that area, just go around and around and try to keep eyes, see if you can see him." They come up, they about 6 cars showed up, unmarked cars. There's a white boy in that thing, about like Blake side, and one of them blonde-headed. I didn't even know he was a police officer. Didn't look like a police officer. He said, "Where do you think he's at?" I said, "East side of that interstate over, south side of that interstate. Right there between South Fourth and over where Magnolia Farm Supply." I said, "He's right in there somewhere." I said, "All right." He left walking. He went around that block. Come around and he called in a little while. He said, "I got him." That nigger, he told him at that jail, he said, "That white man beat me." He said, "He whipped me." He said, "I'm gonna file charges." He said, "Did anybody see it?" He said, "No." He said, "But that white man whipped me." That white dude whipped me bad. he was gone about 45 minutes. He was loose about 45 minutes and got a good whipping.
Damn.
Oh.
He's lucky that's all he got.
Yeah.
Ground in the back.
Not ready to be leaving. It's cold out here.
You're cold?
She's always cold. It's gotta be 90 degrees in the house for her to be warm. I know it's too screwed up when she's warm.
Very good.
It's nice.
Heck yeah, it is.
I don't like cold.
It's actually
I don't like
warm in the
drought cold.
house.
I know it's warm in here.
And that's probably where you're heading, huh?
Yep, sure is. If I can get out of the chair.
Well, at least it's solid and ain't gonna go nowhere.
Oh, it's my knees.
I know.
Oh. Yep, I'm gonna go in there and sit. Get warm. My hands are even cold.
Well, it'll be warm in there. It's too warm in there for me.
Yep.